unopportune times, That's what happens in life. Everything goes live at the most unopportune times. But it's okay. We will still fix it. We will fix it. And a very good, what is it? Evening, morning. See, I could do. I still have hair left. Oh, it's real. It's real. What's that guy? The Cy Sperman? Sperman, yeah. It's a porn star. It's there was a guy, Cy Sperling or whatever, it was a hair club for men back in the day. And he goes, "Oh, it's real." He pulls it. It's not a tube, like it stays on. I, you know, I've been losing my hair. Well, in the back, you can see it. You can't, you got to turn on. But I've been losing for years. You know what I mean? And it's like what happens is, if you let it grow, you become like a scraggly baldy. It doesn't look good on me at all. And I'm not. How do you say? I think everybody's a little self-conscious about looks. We all want to try to present ourselves nicely. Some people more than others. My God, and this will lead me into my what I'm thinking. Where is it? Where's our sponsor? Where's our sponsor? Our sponsor. Wait a minute. The sponsor means it's supposed to give you for free so that you mention their name as advertising, right? Wait a minute. I pay for this shit. Why the hell am I mentioning it? Well, you're drinking it on camera, so people are wondering what's in the bag, what's in the cup. As I mentioned, this is the organic chai spice tea from Pavilions. You can get it at Pavilions is owned by, and the sound. The train is leaving the terminal, so just the main station. So just get used to it until I get a new laptop. We got the free background sound. Of the. It's funny if I could kind of move back and forth to make the camera. I don't want to move the camera, but kind of like the train, like you're on a train. Hey, I've been taking the train quite a bit. The last night I went to a Mexican place, and got to get down a little bit anyway. I didn't really care for. All right. Yeah. I'm kind of lost. I'm trying to figure if it's good or bad. Closer to bad. I'm really picky. Like because I'm used to like going to places and getting down, or maybe like I was just younger. You're older, it's like harder. Even though I'm in pretty good shape, running around and not having a good time. You have a tendency to remember it. It's like special ingredient in there too. Um, you know, maybe pickier with everything, with music, everything. There's so much I hear when I go out. I hear so much what I call garbage. I got a very good taste in music. I would consider. And you know, if I hear something really good, I'm like, all right, that's badass. I got to remember that one. So I got my pen and write shit down, or I could look it up. And I don't know, I'm still fairly eclectic. Like my mind's open to different stuff, and then the stuff I don't like. Um, just because they play it a lot doesn't mean it's good to me. I don't care a billion views with a b. I don't care. You show a woman like with a pretty face and a good body, people, think it's like, oh my god, this is so badass. And I don't fall for it, man. It doesn't, no offense to all these people, but they're gonna take offense. I don't care. Lady Gaga, J-Lo, Kylie Minogue, Miley Cyrus. I don't care if it ain't fucking tight, Brittany. If it's not fucking tight, then it's garbage. Like it's now there's some stuff in that gray area. I call it. In the gray area is closer to good than bad, but most of it is just dreck. It's just total fucking garbage, man. Like I don't know if it's them, if it's the recording engineers. It's both. It's everything. It's everything. Even Megan Trainor, as people like, I mean, God, I can't give it up to really. It's so hard to give props to anybody. But there are a couple. So hold on. Look at Steve. We knew we saw it coming. So I had to put down the cup. I don't even have to think because I know like who's good. Bruno Mars is fucking good. Katy Perry's got a good spirit, it's a good spirit, a lot of, but I could name one song like it's really okay, like that's fucking tight. Is that last Friday night? That's a fucking pretty badass song. The video's cute and everything, but the song, to the flow, like and the beats, the mix, it's good, it's and you see, look, I'm talking to somebody that likes everything from disco stuff you can pop and boogaloo to 19 the 80s to Taylor Dane, to fucking stuff of that kind of pop 80s into the 90s, late 90s, all the 90s, the heavy D, and fucking anything, you know, uh, that's got a good danceable flow to it. Some of Britney's stuff, I like, it's good. JT, Justin Timberlake, you know, it's all right, like it's doable as far as like dancing. It's not bad. I heard, let me go grab a tissue because I don't fucking sniffle as I'm talking. Yeah. I will be right with you when we are still live. Pay no attention to the man behind the napkin. Try to scare you with everything. Everything is fucking COVID. I got over a cold a week and a half ago, so I'm happy about that. It's COVID. It's COVID. The COVID is coming for you. I don't know what the fuck that is. Anyway, um, lots of just look, man. Even stuff like I listen to Herb Alpert, that Rise. The Biggie. Bum, 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 that Herb Alpert Rise and the Tijuana Brass is fucking Jesus. You know. So I've got a very open mind to stuff that I would consider like, oh, that's pretty good. That's not real good for dancing, but it's just I try to. It's very hard. Like when they show all these kind of women that look kind of decent, this Dua Lipa, all these people. I'm shaking my head because it's like it's like God, all this is garbage. Fuck, man. What the fuck is going on? There's like got to be like a continuity of flow for dancing. The song has got to have a combination of things, mostly the beats and flow and stuff. And I haven't, I mean, tell you, like, it's like really getting rarer and rarer for me to hear something that's like, that's dope. I mean, there's a guy, Dogmaster, you can look him up, he really understands like real funk, deep funk for poppers, and dancers. The guy really knows what he's talking about. That Sleeping Single, that Poppin' John does a good version of that in the video. and Pop Lock Funk by Dogmaster. Really good bedroom dance. There's a couple of them that are really fucking. It's something that you would hear kind of like a cholo and a lowrider play. It's got that deep fucking bass, a boom, boom, boom. A real fucking Roger Zapp type, but it's really tight. I mean, it's like whoa. Brings it out of me. Like there's that popper in me. Liquid Animation. I just don't bank myself on one style as much as I like. That's like my favorite kind of dance. But um, you know, I'm just saying, like the good shit will pull it out of you. Pull out like you see some of my best kind of choreography I created to some of Britney's or JT. It just depends. I don't know. Like I don't overanalyze. Things. I just kind of know the way I feel like you should be moving to certain songs. And then like certain stuff, I don't know, the generic, it's that generic salsa, whatever, merengue, reggaeton garbage, I mean, I can move my hips. It's nothing. It's nothing. But I guess in the Latino culture, I mean, all with due respect, it's like, if they like it, whatever, I mean, good. But if I'm stuck, and I'm dancing and if they play that, and I'm there, okay, whatever. But I am not like, a salsa partner dancer. I'm a freestyle soloist. At that older people dance, I will dance with some of the women, because of the just look, you schlep all the way down there, you sit like a curmudgeon in a corner. That ain't gonna do you any good anyway. So it's like you're there, like so it kind of got you by the balls. Where are you gonna go? You're already all the way down there. There's nothing else around. You're gonna take you an hour to get back to the city anyway from Orange County. You're there, so make the best of it and hope maybe some a woman walks in that's you get lucky. Look, miracles do happen. Um, very, very, very rarely for me. I guess that's what I call a miracle, lightning in a bottle, right? I'll get back to that, but let me talk about. There's a song that I heard and I can't. I'm not gonna hum it. It's some chick sings it, and it's like relatively new. I know it could be a year or two, a couple of years old. Now they say if you don't know, my phone, this. I don't bring my phone to the gym, and if I did, it doesn't have Shazam. But you can point it to the thing, and it can tell you like who the song is, what it is. Another great tip is if you're like me and you don't have the apps and stuff, you can try to listen and get a couple lines of the lyrics, like remember it and then go and type it in, like on Google, and generally the song will come up. You'll be able to find it. But I'm listening and I'm trying to get. I can't really understand if she's going, I a fool, or I love you, or I of you. Like I tried all different combinations. That's like the main chorus, and it goes da 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 da. It's like it's really catchy. Like it's really good, like for what I do. And I'm listening, and she's going kind of fast, so I'm trying to listen. So get a line or two in there. It's like she goes, "Tell me what I'm supposed to do." Like, and so I type that in, and there's nothing like all these other songs by dudes, and there's some things with that line, So I put that. So I, like with me, I don't give up till I find it. Now, long story short, I haven't found it yet, but what I did is like look up. Somebody's got like clips of like the top 50 songs of this year, last year, female artists. So I went through like everything. I went through like a couple hundred songs, and I'm listening, and I hear a lot of these songs in the nightclubs, and I don't even know who did them. I don't even know, but I know now. I have a good idea of who these people are, little of their videos, and it's like sitting there. God, I'm sitting there listening to this shit, and I have to stomach this, like just even though it's like 20 seconds each song, and I'm like, God, this is like total garbage, like I'm listening to garbage after garbage after garbage. Now, no offense to that Adelaide, on the other side, I mean, that's not, okay, like if she can sing, she can sing. That music doesn't move me though. Like it doesn't. Well, maybe it moves people from the inside. It's a woman like Celine Dion or whatever like that. They got a good pitch in of what. But I'm talking stuff that makes you dance. And it is really, I mean, you know, it's now there's a lot of obscure funk stuff that like they call milk crates. People pull out. They know like the real good shit. But I'm listening to this stuff and I'm just like, holy fuck, man. I mean, it's like 99% plus is like just you could just wow. Try to give some examples of something like when Bruno Mars came out with 24 Karat Magic, it was in 2016. Okay, I was like, all right, wow, um, it's like one song, Now he's got a couple things. Treasure is cute, and he does some slow stuff that's really, that's good, but not, not really danceable, but it's respectable, Uh, but that one song by that chick, like so, and I tried to match the voice to like Miley Cyrus. And I looked up like Kylie Minogue greatest hits, went through like all, and even the titles. Like I tried, and I spent some serious time, and I'm not unable to hunker down and find. I even went to the online try to find. Okay, well the gym I go to Crunch, so the Crunch playlist, and there was like list of all these songs, but I don't think that's tied into their, what they're actually playing. That means the recommendations for working out songs or something. I don't know, but I went through and I couldn't find it. I guess the only thing is like when I hear it next time, I want to like ask the person next to me or go down the front and say, you know who that is? I'm just, you know who song that is? Like it's just she's. I try to listen to the lines, but she's going kind of quick. I can't. It's like I don't know what she's saying. If she's saying "I of you," "I love you," it's so common. So like you just type in "I love you" woman song of the, but I don't think that's what it is. It's got a good flow to the beat. A real good. Some things just match. They work. You know, I have to realize that I'm in 2021. I'm going to be 2022, and say like people they try to go back and do things they did when they were young, like goes around, comes around kind of thing. Like I saw West Side Stories, and it's coming out a new one, Spielberg, and he doesn't know nothing about dancing, but he's a filmmaker, or whatever. It's more about it's like a musical thing. But I told you like I auditioned for Dave Winters, on Skype. He was living in Thailand. Wanted to make an East Side Story. Creative, people creating the same. And anybody that's still alive from that, the old people, that West Side Story ain't gonna work, man. That music is not today. Not danceable music. It's not a fucking. That movie is gonna flop. Hamilton works because it's today. It's like lyrical rapping with the thing, but it's not hardcore gangster rap. It's like it's a watered down mainstream rap with history. It's a something that you would think would be a joke, but it's understandable. Like my friend's 60 years old, his mom is like 80 years old. Went there with their friends. He was like, really had a good time. Does it fit a mainstream that people could understand? And I'm not, they call me a tweener because I'm not from that young generation, and I'm really not old. I'm closer to the 50s plus crowd because I'm 48. But, you know, those people at that older people dancing thing, they ain't like professional dancers. Now, I'm not, they're asking me, professional dancer? And I said, well, no, because I never got paid. I never did like movies. The TV shows were what I was cast on. Those are like, America's Got Talent type things. I didn't make any money from any of this stuff. So I guess it's real passion. If you're doing something and not making any money and you love it, it's passion, right? And you know, Jordan Peterson talks about. He said, "Good luck finding a way to monetize if you're a creative person." Now, I know he's not being a naysayer, but it's he's right. He's got a lot. I mean, you know how many people can do this or that, and they put it on social media. And so what? Like little. I'm talking like when he says monetize, just like making some money that you can live on. Um, there ain't many people. I'm sorry, like compared to. I have a friend. He loves art. Since he was in high school, college. He's drawing. He's painting, whatever. Making cards for his mom. That's hang stuff up in his apartment. He doesn't sell it anything. He's just not really. It's just like me. I'm not really hip to the social media. And I tried drop shipping. I really got in. I looked, but what I was doing was Amazon to eBay. And I was like, okay, well, but see how many people they do the same fucking thing. The profit margin is so low. You're not selling that much stuff. I mean, I was making like a couple dollars, literally a couple bucks here, a couple dollars. When I say a couple bucks, literally that's it. $25 items. Then I said, okay, well, let me put more expensive. Let me put computers on there and shit. And then I got scammed. Somebody bought like a $700 Mac laptop off me, and then they said, "Oh, it wasn't my credit card number, this and that." Now I wound up getting my money back, and um, actually, I think I wound up making they PayPal reimbursed me twice. So, but it was a nightmare. I went through like it took months, and it was, you know, I had a hold on this, and I had to pay for it initially, and then the guy goes, "I don't know what you're talking about." I said, "Well, I guarantee I know what happened. What happened was his like kids or whatever, they used his credit card to buy the fucking item, and then he lived in like Orange County or the Long Beach or whatever, and they lived up in Folsom, ironically, prison up there. And so I sent the computer to the address after they paid for it. And then I get a fucking thing from him. He goes, I didn't buy. This guy goes, I didn't pay for the allow for this purchase. So he claimed that his credit card was stolen. So I'm like, well, but it says this address and this name. He goes, I don't know who that is. So he filed a claim, and it was just a fucking nightmare, like that's what happens when you deal in. Now I was selling, I didn't care what I was selling, stump remover or water purification pills, like $20 and stuff. There you don't get problems, but when you start going above like $50 and stuff, people start to try to, try to scam you, and then you have to make your price low enough that where the people will buy, and it's really really hard. You got to list all this stuff, and then I had days on end I couldn't even make a dollar. Some days I made okay 10 or 15 bucks, 20 maybe, but yeah, that ain't going anywhere. God help you if they want to return something. Oh, that's great too, but they don't get it. Now, I would use my Amazon credit card to pay, so you're getting 5% back on that. 5% of $20? Come on, what are you getting? 40 cents? For, I just, and then I'm not too proud of what I did. One thing on eBay that was, I don't even know if I want to share the story because, I got kind of in hot water, but I did pay it all back. I did pay it all down. So I made good, but it was like 12 grand, you know. I built up a good reputation, and then, you know, I thought like I could make like a real decent amount of money, and then be like, who cares? Like, and look, people do that all the time. They build up their credit and they bang it all out for whatever reason. Maybe they had intended like a business venture. What's the difference, right? Like, if you look at it like this, let's say you build up your credit to where it's like 50,000 hypothetically, and let's say you said, you know what, I wanted to open up so and so business. I need the 50,000, and you try to, so you borrow it off your credit cards, and then it doesn't work out. You're like, oh fuck, so now you're broke. You owe the money, right? Now, what's the difference if the same thing got 50? You want to like just get the money, just to have it, just to say, okay, I'm done, and you cash out all that, 50,000, and then you go, fuck you, the credit card. So it's the same thing, even though your intentions are different. The bottom line is you're still 50 grand in the hole, right? So people do both. They do both. It's very common. Probably, more than likely is well, I don't know. Maybe I wonder what the percentage is of what people taking a business risk, or just saying, you know what, I want the money, like, and say fuck the credit, fuck these people. I don't know. I don't know. I just know that, well, it's bad because you destroy your credit, then it's like a 7 years, a decade, and then you like to build it. Like it's hard. It's hard to build. And they take it away. They know, and they know very quickly. Like when you're, they know when you're maxing out your cards or your purchases, the red flags go up. Like they know what's up. They're literally, they know when your score, the up, and they know when it's down, and they won't take a chance on you. Me, I took, I did both. Like like some powerful, what people in powerful people do, they use tremendous leverage, with the intention of paying it back, bank loans or whatever like that, and then they take out their piece of the pie on the side. And if you're dealing in millions, it's a significant amount. Um, you know, the problem is you need big leverage to make sizable money. Sure, you've heard of people, oh yeah, I started with a couple thousand, it took off, yeah, but that's the reason that's people, it's lightning in a bottle situations, because you don't hear of many like that. The people with money, what they do is they do big deals. They buy like property, like that Sanford and Son house around the block from me. The old ladies that lived there, I guess they finally, it was a tear down. It was a 2.5 million, 2.3 or whatever like that. So whoever buys it, they fucking the the developers, they're gonna level that. So they pay them 2.3 million, they're gone, and then they're gonna build a fucking real nice condo duplex, or who knows how big it is to build it, but it's gonna be something that's fucking really nice. That could cost them another maybe 3 to 4. I don't know how much. It could be a couple million more to build. So they're in for like 5 million now. But it's like, once that's done, it's like, okay, um, they can probably let's say you can easily move it for 7 or 6.5. That's $1 million profit. Profit. So after everything's paid back, they got $1 million, 2 million, maybe more. That's how big deals get made. And it goes way bigger than 2 million. That's like just a little something, you know. It's a shame. Like the guy, Shaner, that passed away. I used to hang out in his house a little bit, you know, and he would have, that's where he'd have his classes. I'd have, dude had a nice, like, not an Olympic size swimming pool, but it was good size. And his house was really nice. It was, you know, and he died, you know, like 6 months ago, maybe 8 months ago. And his kids, they have money, you know, they sold the house real fast, you know, as a teardown. You know, what as a teardown, sold it. I think they sold it for $2.5 million. I got more. It was nice, but they tore it down. It's fucking really nice. Was nice. Tore it down. Fuck. You know, it's like real Monopoly, but see, the problem is, and I was good at Monopoly. You know, I was good. I like the idea of play. I was real ambitious, tenacious, and stuff. You have to understand something. You gotta have money to play Monopoly. They start you off with money to buy. It's not too complicated. Even my credit, like, you know, I was never like in a position to where I could do shit like that. I tried. I remember in Vegas there was like a house, like kind of like a thing that looked like it was burned down. They want 25,000 for it. I called them up. They said, "Well, no, the owner decided not to sell it." This shit, people gonna grab anything that's a project that could be worked on. You think like you know that it's lightning in a bottle, you know, to get started. Now, what I like about Vegas, there's plenty of space out there. They built out, not up, except on the strip they built up, but they built out. I see more of a potential there, you know. But then again, you know, I can't go out there with nothing. You know, ideally what I wanted to be, what I wanted to do was, you know, power out my doctor degree, go teach at like UNLV, you know, for a couple of years, and get paid real money, you know, like whatever, 100,000 a year or 75 a year, and like live real low, you know, just you know, have a condo for 100,000. I mean, it would be like, you know, I'd be moving ahead. That was like, I know I talked about this before, but you know, it's like I've seen professors teaching at Northridge, at Cal State Northridge. This guy that I took for geography, young guy, he was working on his PhD at UCLA, but he was teaching like undergrad geography. I think it was Geography 10. Cal was called California. You know, just talking about the state. We watched Theo Hauser, talked about how the porn industry was found basically done in Chatsworth. It was cute, you know, PowerPoint and go over stuff. And on the, I was like the oldest person in that class. I was in my 30s at the time. Yep, I was young once. Not too long ago. You know, I just maybe like you have to go there, you know, go down there. And, look, I applied at CSN, College of Southern Nevada. That's like, you know, a community. You got a couple community colleges there, and you know, I got an EDS degree. You know, it's not just a fucking master's. That EDS is it should be considered doctoral level. And it's weird. You look it up on Google, and some things say it's a postmaster's degree. It is. So isn't a doctorate a postmaster? No, a doctorate's a doctorate. But you know, it's closer. It's closer to an earned PhD, a doctorate, than just a postmaster certificate. I mean, it's like, a lot of them are 30 credits, 33 credits. I know a doctorate degree can be 60 plus. I've seen them 54. I've seen them as low as 45. Um, the only doctorate I've seen at 30 is like in ministry, doctor of ministry, theology, whatever. But still, like, there's no dissertation or anything, but it's still 30 credits of doctoral level work. And when I got it, I was like, I knew, I transferred all that work into a doctor of education, at Liberty. And long story short, I'm still in that now. Now I have another university, they're going to start at the same time in the spring. There's nothing I can do. My hands are tied to spring, January 10th. But I have two doctorate programs which are very similar. I mean, as far as like, both can take about a year and a half, and there's nothing I can do. So I like keep them both going. Um, like it's funny. Like I went to, on UNLV's website, they're like, you know, well, you have to have an earned doctorate degree by this time. I go, what's the fucking bit. Let me tell you something. Most doctorate programs, you need to have like the dissertation. They want to see scholarly writing, and I'm like, you know, and I know I said this before. I'm repeating, but I just got to get it out again. Just because you could fucking write a scholarly dissertation doesn't mean you'd be a good professor. I'm sorry. No, like it's not. It's more important to be able to lecture properly, communication, way more important because you're talking to people. You're talking to students. You can't convey your message, or be able to lecture, be interactive. I don't give a fuck how well you write. I mean, it's backwards. It is backwards. I understand the purpose of being able to conduct scholarly, applied research methods. I mean, that's what methodology, whatever, all this kind of shit. But you know, addressing some question that's you know you think it's never been discussed before. I just don't get it. I don't. I disagree with what a doctor of education, what it is. It should deal more with now some of them, what I'm doing is some of them have more capstone projects. I like that. I happen to be better at those than writing a traditional dissertation. I never even got to it at Franklin. They boxed me out of it in the fucking um, in the forgot already what it was before I had to do something. I mean, I don't want to. It hurts to remember because it's bullshit. These people, they fucked me out of it, and that's a very difficult thing to be in a doctorate program and go all the way to the end and then get fucked. And then if you get fucked, I knew this one guy. We both were in Franklin. You know, he got fucked out of Azusa Pacific, out of APU. He was in a dissertation phase, and for whatever reason, they railroaded him, and he got real. Yeah, I remember he wanted to hire a lawyer. It was insane. Um, but I think he wound up getting kicked out, or it was just really bad. The department, him. Um, so he wound up doing he transferred to Franklin, and even with all his transfer, he still had to take classes to get back to that dissertation phase. And I told you I got dismissed from that school. Comprehensive exams. Yeah, that's where I got fucked on. Yeah, they fucked me on that. So I don't need to go over it. I've talked about it before. It doesn't matter. I was the only student out of 200 students that was dismissed from the school. I'm the only one. I have the distinction. I hold 4 college degrees. 4. In succession, in associates, bachelor's, master's, and EDS degree. And I'm dismissed from fucking school. Bullshit, I have about 60 credits of doctoral level work. 60, So, as it stands right now, it's one school that me and Trident, they want 6 classes for the doctorate. So I'm in that. And then at Liberty, I passed the 2 last courses. I took B- and a B+. I need 2 last courses that lead to the capstone phase, which is a 3-phase, 3-course, 5-credit deal. So, that's like, you could say 5 classes there, 5. I don't know if there's a defend that counts as a 6th, but it's about another 1.5 years worth of work if I'm lucky. So we'll see. It just depends. It depends, it's I know I'm talking about a lot, and I feel like I put a lot of stock into it. But let me tell you something. Just because at the end you get that doctorate degree, you feel like really good. I guarantee it's like, oh, I'm a doctor. But don't guarantee you a fucking $100,000 a year job, or even half. I'm telling you, it's, and I know that. Now, I try to keep an open mind. I applied for like post office work in Vegas too. It's a solid government job. I try to keep my mind open. It's like, hey, the whole thing is to get that condo, build a life out of government housing, I wish I could find a faster way. I don't know. Really good song, That Weekend. I Can't Feel My Face. It's pretty good. It's not bad, Drake, I got my eye on you. It's not bad. Not really, and it's okay, yeah, it's not bad. It's hard. I know I'm talking about other things. That's what's going through my mind right now. I think it's called Hold On, yeah, so I applied for all these things. Now, I got this on Indeed, this other school, Desert Torah. I'm positive it's a Jewish school in Vegas. $30,000 a year for PE teacher. $30,000 a year. How the fuck am I gonna? Friend goes, they don't, a private Jewish school. There was one around not far from me. They offered a low ball, like, in this area. How the fuck are you gonna make it? There was this Mexican Latina, kind of heavy set chick, going to work at West Hollywood, the City Hall. It was this disheveled kind of black woman that was on the street, whatever. She was the Mexican woman trying to help her. And so we're waiting at the light, me and the Latina chick, and I said, I know you mean well, but people, they can't, for whatever reason, you don't know their story. They don't. You can't even help these people. And the woman goes to me that works in the City Hall. She goes, I can't even afford to live around here. She goes, and I work here. It's all backwards. Backwards. So my mom, who's like relatively poor, goes, you live in a good area. So does that disheveled black woman, the homeless. Didn't have nothing though. This is not enough. Four walls of government housing is not a life. It's not. So it's a life for somebody that will never have anything. And it's like, you're stuck between the rock and a hard place because, like that Mexican Hispanic woman said, she works. She can't afford to live around there, so it doesn't matter anyway. The chasm is too great. The chasm, of you being on that side, up. See, I'm pointing up. It takes real money, or somebody that bought property a long time ago that just appreciated. But what's the difference? It's worth a lot. So, it's either they had it, they get it, they have it, or they had it. It doesn't matter. But the key point is that they have it now. And the people on the other side of the chasm, they can't get over, like you can't make enough to because it's too fast, the appreciation of things. Now, for some people, that's great. But those people that it's great for, that's gonna, they already had anyway. They weren't polishing years ago if they got it, and they definitely are not polishing now if they're buying. Polishing is like Yiddish for starving. Now, my grandparents, I hate to put them on the spot, but they didn't buy. They stayed on the other side of the chasm, on the low. It doesn't matter. I don't need it. It's irrelevant as to why. Now, their friends, what friends? My Tante Miriam and Uncle Carl, you not here with us anymore. They were survivors too. But they didn't gamble. They bought property, a condo, whatever. But they owned buildings too. I don't know how umgestuft he was. Yiddish, umgestuft is like overstuffed, like rich with cash. Son became an attorney. His daughter married an eye surgeon or something. But I know she was like worked at Cedars or something. A woman, she's kind of hot. They got their own mo. They can get, it's nothing. Like a decent looking woman can write their own ticket if they're smart. If they compromise a little bit of morality, they can marry some dude that's got money for a while, divorce, and take half. So they're set for life, depending on how much, like how much they can walk away with. They're good, they like, yeah, there's a woman around the block from me. She has like a compound. I guarantee you that's what she did. She ain't self-made. She's got some dog. She didn't even walk it down the block. She doesn't have to because the compound is so big that they can let that dog run around inside. Those people, they hide behind the big bushes. They're ungi stuff. Those people, and I guarantee they got problems too. But it's different kind of things. They're afraid that somebody's going to take from them. I guarantee that's why that woman that dances with me at that dance thing, she doesn't want to show me what she has because she thinks um, I'm gonna try to take advantage of her. Like maybe some guy did, took her to the cleaners. You know, so I don't talk about. She told me, she's a dentist or owns some dental offices, so it's probably really successful. She lives in Rancho Palo Verdes. So I remember my driver. I know I said this before, but it's funny. He goes, "Oh, rich. Each house there is $5 million on up." He knows. He knows. So, I understand the reasoning why this woman, you know, these women don't want to like show you really what they got because they don't want your eyeballs to get big like this. Go, they don't want you. When I that means like he's all of a sudden his mindset has changed because he's seen the vault now, the key, that he's seen what's in the bank, like so. Believe me, money can corrupt. They say money can corrupt a lot of people. Yeah, that's a hard word, corrupt, because that sounds like kind of evil, but it can alter perceptions. Like because all of a sudden when you see somebody's got guilt, I tried to do this to my ex girlfriend, and I first I did it kind of jokingly, but I was serious because she's got money. She had money, so I said, well, hey, like you want me, like buy me. I want you to do 5 things for me, and she was like, what? And I said, and so I want you to. I told her like, you know, you gotta give me if you want me, like kind of thing. You gotta buy me like this Rolex that I want, like this one. It's like 12 grand. I told my friend Harry about it. He looks it up. He goes, you got good taste. And I said, that's a nice one. And I go, yeah, I do. The Wimbledon oyster one with the bezel raised, the not the smooth bezel, the raised ones. Really fucking nice stainless. The retails for 10,000, but you can't find it. You can't find it for that. It goes way above, and the stores don't have them. I called every fucking Rolex place when I was close when I had. But you see, that's the thing is, you take all your money that you saved and go buy a fucking watch, then that's all you have. Then is a nice watch and no money. So that's an inside joke. Me and Felix know that one. So anyway, I told my ex girlfriend. I said, yeah, I want this watch, and she's like, no, and I said I want to go to Disneyland, and she goes, maybe I'd pay for that, maybe. And I want you to hold my hand and buy me ice cream there. It's like, okay, that's not a big deal. Now, after that, there's a Tony Roma's on Harbor Boulevard. I want to eat there. I want to get that. So it's like not how expensive is Tony Roma's. I looked at, the thing is like $35, I think, for like a rack of ribs, or maybe cheaper. So like relatively, but the watch is the key. All the other shit I can do on my own. I need her to go around. That watch is like, because I don't wear rings, but I like the watch. The watch signifies power. Like boom. Like that Rolex. You see that's like it's a combination of that means you got gelt in life. Like that means that you're somebody. Like it's everything. It's you got one of those bad boys. It's like you're not a youth. You're not a bum. Like you got something. Some people got need it with the car mostly, a place. But a watch is like that's what I was starting with that. It's like when I met Rich Kaspari, he had a nice Breitling on. The guy was like jacked with thing, and I was like, fuck, man, I want to be like you. I was like, Jesus. But he owns a Gaspari Nutrition. It's not just he lost to Lee Haney all those years. He made money. Believe me, he's got fucking cash. That guy. Um, she wouldn't do any. Yeah, she's just a fucking miser. So she stopped calling me and she found somebody else. And you know what? good. Let her be with somebody else, you know. I kind of, different philosophy. See, you know, you get like one life, what the hell are you hoarding it for, saving it for? Go out and fucking, but that's just her. She's a little cheap miser, and I mean, I've got some cards, some gold, put away some stuff, because it's for a purpose, like for hopefully for a time that I can move ahead in life. Look, man, I don't hoard every penny. I told you, I spent $100 to go dancing on to get home from Orange County. I'm not a fucking cheap miser. Like I'm willing to to try to do things. Yeah, well, it's I guess I'm just laying low today. It's already one away. I looked up online and said maybe I could have gone out dancing a couple hours ago, and there's really nothing. Tuesday night, it's I used to walk around trying to find places to go, things to do, and I really couldn't find. Today's technically Thanksgiving. Yeah, my gym is open at 5 today. Closed early, so I might go to the gym 5 in the morning. Why not? Yeah, sometimes it's just gotta be real patient sometimes. I used to get like lonely during the holidays, and I really don't anymore. I don't really care. And it's I'm not like a normal family guy. I like to go where I want, do what I want, when I want. And that's okay. All right. Well, that's really all for now. Relax for a little bit, make something good to eat. I don't care for the turkey on Thanksgiving. It's fucking generic. I don't believe in holidays either. I don't. It doesn't. I don't. I just because everybody conforms to something, I don't. I don't. I don't see the point. It means nothing to me. I remember one Thanksgiving, one time, my cousin Robin, that would be my uncle Mike. He passed away many years ago. Great guy. His daughter married like this foreman from Sony Pictures, whatever. Me and my uncle, we try to get him to help us to get in the union. He did get us some side work, like I just couldn't get the hours to get in. But and that it was like an amazing job. Like I think it was TSE local 33, like stage hands, and you fucking just sit around. You're waiting. It's like tear down, whatever, and you're just sitting around waiting for them to tell you what to do, but you're getting paid all that time. And back then, even in like it was around '96 or something, I made like $300 for 2 days of work. But that's back in the '90s. It's union work if you could get the hours to get in. I couldn't get the hours to get in. You need a certain amount of hours during a certain period of time. I couldn't get them. It's just bullshit work. Tear downs, set tear downs, not construction, not building, tear downs. I feel like if I could get a job offer from one of these places or anything at this age, whatever dream you had of anything, you're giving it away. And that condo would be really sweet, you know? But if I ever hit in something else, I could buy it that way, you know? Like, I just feel like being an average schleprock, you know? Getting a job and trying just to, dang it, like, I got some big dreams, man. And I'm talking, I got some big fucking dreams. And those dreams all get pissed away by taking a regular job. I remember what that coach said at Fairfax, that new coach they had there for baseball was helping out with some of the players. And you know what the fuck they look like the bad news bears out there. And that's how he goes, Mike. It's not about you anymore. It's about them. Don't talk about you. It's about helping them. I did that, but I ain't done yet. Now playing ball, I'm done. I realize that, but it's like other things that I could do. Like I believe I can. Just I need like that push. I need the door to open. There's gotta be a way that I could carve out a niche in something. You can always work your whole life. I mean, I don't even have to. It's pittance money, you know. So it's about being smart. I wonder what's going to happen with Bitcoin with this. I knew it. It was that guy Wright. I knew he created it, or he's the co-creator. You know, there's somebody that probably died. You know, that guy. Like if that's Wright, Craig Wright, the guy that's in I almost said Carbon Freeze, in cryogenics. Would be surprised if he was the sole creator, yeah, or amongst the. There might not be just one person. There's a couple guys like him and somebody else got together. But what happens of judgment with that 1 million Bitcoin, you know, and then let's say it's awarded, you know, to their family and stuff, and they go, oh no, fuck, let's get rid of this thing. That could crash the whole market of Bitcoin. That's, you know, 1 million of them. That's an immense. That's like what, $64 billion. Um, no, it'll be over. It'll go from 55,000 down to about 15,000 or less within the span of an hour. There'll be a catastrophic fall of Bitcoin if that million Bitcoin is released, cashed out, or anything. And what I would hope would be in place, coins would take over, like the Shiba Inu would have a meteoric rise. That would help me. Um, I would be very happy, you know, if Shiba Inu, Dogecoin, whatever went up um, significantly. You know, that'll give me my condo right there. I know I asked for so little, you know, and it's like a lot of it too is age. You get older, you lose faith because nobody's giving you a call back. Nobody needs you. Nobody's. Friend Chris tells us, "Gotta be lucky for what you got." Warrior, you gotta be lucky for what it is. Gotta be lucky for what you have. And build on it, but be happy for what you got. So, with that, on a positive note,